Alright, morning Photoshop. Um, as you can see, my screen cap software isn't picking up recognition of audio. It's also having trouble changing between different capture devices, but hopefully it works fine. And we're just gonna go with that premise here. So, um, today we're going to make a fun banding action that we can use to make fun stylized graphics really quickly. So first we're going to make our own brush from the custom shape tool here, which has all kinds of fun custom shapes you can pull, drag, alter, and make into your own brushes, which you can then change up the brush settings on, which is really cool. So we'll just go with a star to start things off. Fill in our new layer, right? Otherwise it would be part of the background. So we fill and then we cut our path, which is either the trash can in the path window or Control X, just auto cuts path, or selection, depending on the tools you're using. So now we have a star. To make it entirely opaque when we save it as a brush, we are going to fill it with a solid black because that is the color that the brush interface uses. Alright, so edit, define brush preset. We'll go with alright. So now we have a brush that applies an opaque copy of our star and it drags like that. So what we're going to do is jump into our brush settings, change up our spacing, shape dynamics, which randomizes the size with each application, and the scattering. Now, apply something like, which is way big, but if we change down, yeah, that's nice. Already, there's a lot that you can do with those tools, but we're gonna keep moving along here. So, for the purpose of our exercise, we're going to make an action that bands and colors our patterns, which we could use either for like text or shapes and graphics. So we'll make a new layer here and so we'll select all of the pixels active in our layer and Control Alt bracket down to select bottom layer is what we're going to do. We'll start our action first, and we don't want to have any invisible layers behind our working layer. So cancel our first big star. Yeah. Start an action here. New action. Action 6. Okay. So we will Alt backwards bracket layer to select the layer underneath what we're using, and then we'll make a new layer so that it shows up behind our active pixels. so that when we expand our selection, let's go go 50 for this, I guess. Okay. Quite an expansion. And then what we're going to do here is to make this selection into a work path. 6 is kind of a high tolerance. Take it down to should we go 3. The tolerance on your path determines the number of angle points that it uses to calculate this shape. So with a higher tolerance, there would be fewer points with more wonky shapes that diverge further from the original pattern, but sometimes you get interesting things there, and there is an application for each. So then we'll go in and fill this layer now with our foreground color and cut our path that we're using. So now we have these 2 layers, and if we wanted, we could use that as a basic banding action and change up our foreground color each time, but right now we'll add in a couple more steps. So we're going to select forward layer and merge down. Now these 2 layers have become as one, and change up the hue saturation with 40. Yeah. And then I think that is our action for now. So let's see if we can use this again. Okay. If I was doing it again, I probably would have added selecting the active pixels on the layer that we're on as the first step of this action, but I didn't, so you have to do that part manually. But if you do, then each time you use this, you get a kind of a scale through the spectrum. And yeah, there's actually a, if we start recording on this layer again right from the beginning, we can add in steps like, okay, well, it starts recording right at the end of the action, but you can move around these steps really conveniently. So now our action has that first step. Okay. And then if we select all of our pixels, so now it's this complete rainbow colored graphic. We use a spectrum gradation across it on difference setting. You get some really fun rainbow colored effects. And then if we wanted to, this brush is now set on difference, so it calculates the difference between the pixels of the color you're using, using Photoshop's color algorithms. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but all kinds of fun graphics. Real quick and user-friendly, and I think we'll keep on developing these tools here, but that is a fun start in how using actions, paths, um, selection tools, and color modification tools, you can get all kinds of cool, interesting graphics. Like that is only the first step of a selection editing uh, graphics and using one shape, but there's all kinds of room for variations. And within this programming, there's a kind of like, practically infinite variations on the kind of graphics that you can create and uh, mapping them to different actions that you can use in combinations. You can streamline this design effect into an infinite visualizer of fun stylized graphics. Yeah, hopefully that turned out. Peace and love.